Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my new office. I know that this isn't largely exciting, the cork background, but we've moved into a office space. I worked from home for like 10 years and this is like life changing. I actually get up and go to work. Today I am getting ready. I thought we could do a makeup tutorial at the same time, and it's so nuts because this really reminds me of my most popular video on YouTube ever. It was 8 years ago and it was me getting ready to go see Drake with the girls. I wear quite a lot of makeup all the time, but I do definitely wear a little bit more when I'm going out. Today I'm getting ready to go and see Kendrick Lamar and SZA with my husband. I'm really excited. It's kind of nuts. I've not got ready to go to a show in a really long time. We're still working on getting the office all looking good, but once we do, I'm definitely going to show you around. It's really cool to have a space that's not like your home, if that makes sense. It looks like an extension of our home, to be honest. But we're going to do some glam makeup and hair, and it is early in the morning. I'm filming this first thing, so I need this makeup to last a good like 14 hours. Alright, I'm going to zoom you in and we're going to do our eyes first. We've just moved into this office, so I'm kind of strapped for supplies. I've got all the makeup in the world, I just don't actually have my brushes here. I don't know how. So we're going to be using some dirty ass brushes. I watched a little bit of that last video I did. I'm so young in it. I'll admit I look quite different. I've got my puppy face. Teeth are all like braces, so they're all different lengths because I ground my teeth down to nothing. But yeah, it's kind of nice. That last video was filmed in Jack and I's first flat. I used to just film in the kitchen, and yeah, it was just a wee bit of a moment. So for my eyes, I want to go quite makeup today. My last few tutorials have maybe been slightly softer, so I want to do a proper glam. But I'm going to start off with my eyes actually, and I'm going to just really work this eye wand in. This is hazelnut. And then I'm just going to buff that out. Now, if you're wondering how long lasting these are, I was filming yesterday and I sketched this on my hand. I have had a bath, washed my hands countless times, and it is still there. You need an oil cleanser or something that's going to break down that product, and I just haven't done that. I've been using just soap and water, obviously. So they are very long lasting. I'm just using all our brushes from the full collection. Super quick. I found something yesterday. These are so easy. You can just shove them on your eyes. Use a finger, use your brush, whatever it is. I'm going to go in with espresso. This is my current favourite shade. And I'm going to do my little trick where I just close my eye on the bullet and wiggle it backwards and forwards. This just means that you get loads of product in that lash line. You can see how long wearing they are. So this does take a minute to get out of your eyes and off your eyes, but it's worth it for the impact and the long wear. And then I'm going to blend. I'm going to take that big fluffy brush and I'm just going to start smoking it out under my eye as well. That's a smoky eye, just use an eye wand. So you can do that if you like. I love to use this as a base. I'm just going to use a tiny touch of that hazelnut on this brow just to get a nice diffused transition. I'm going to stick with mattes at the moment on my eyes. I do have a box of like archive makeup from other brands, and I'm sure I've got some like glitter shadows in there. I might go for that later, but we're going to use Silk Shadows in the shade Terra. Hoped that I had another brush. This is the large blender, and I'm going to go in with these transition shades, and we're going to just start really mattifying that eye wand down, setting it down and getting this big blown out smoky eye. I say the same thing with the rest of the face, but with eyes as well, it's all about sheer layers of product, especially when getting this transition, this blend looking seamless. I am not packing on loads of colour. I'm really working with little amounts of eyeshadow to buff and blend. And then if you're wanting really strong pigment, I'm going to go in with the darkest shade here. You can really pack it on and pat that in before you blend. I did a masterclass recently and we were talking about eyes. One of the questions I got, which was really cool because it's not something that I noticed that I've done. A lot of people I think work from either like lightest to darkest or darkest to lightest, but I actually go between them all. So I'll pop on the dark eyeshadow, then I'll go in with a little bit of a lighter one to blend it out, then I'll go back in with the dark to intensify it again. A great thing to remember is that warmer shades, so this like this one here, not like this one here, make blending really easy. I think that's why using bronzers works really well with your eyes. I can't wait to see what this makeup looks like at the end, to see how much my style's changed. I'm going in with a tiny packer brush in that dark shade, and I'm going to go along my waterline and into the lashes and really wiggle that dark shadow into the lashes. That sets down the eye wand and it just makes it nice and intense with no gaps, no skin showing through. I'm not going to use the lightest shade in the palette. I'm going to go in with this one to set the lid. That's going to add a slight yellow, warm tone to that eye wand, which actually looks really great. You've still got that pinky hue shining through. And I do like using big brushes for eye looks like this. I just think it stops the look looking too structured, which with eye looks like this I love. Now I noticed in the last tutorial that I did like this, I didn't have any eyeliner on. I'm definitely doing eyeliner today. I'm using our Power Ink liner in the shade Black. Favourite way to do liner is to keep my eye open, find where I want to start and sketch out that first line, and see when I close my eye over I can see where it's skipped over kind of any, so how to say, loose skin. My eyes have changed a lot and I've not had any Botox. My brow lift has gone, which means I've got slightly more hooded eyes. There you go, I've got slightly more hooded eyes than other occasions. So keeping your eye open means that you can stamp on where you want your liner to be, but then you can kind of close your eye and go in and finesse. So I can see it's quite skinny. I want to thicken it up. So I love that shape. That's really lifting in my opinion. And then I just get my eyeliner and make sure that I'm getting right in to my lash line. I'm going to drop that one slightly just so it's not floating quite as much. That just changes everything. I am going to add mascara at this point. This is Modern Mascara and I'm going to really load up. And because of this smoky on top and lower lashes, I'm going to build them up on top and bottom. Love, I've made a right mess. I really chucked that mascara on. Trick is just let it dry and then brush it off with a little mascara wand. Yeah, I'm fast. Okay, I'm going to zoom you out. We're going to do skin just a little bit further away. Right, so that's where we're at now. I'm going to butter and jam my skin. This is the butter and this is the jam. I use them both. I love them both. So Skin Nova first, which is like your serum texture. This is going to really hydrate my skin, which I need for my makeup to last. When my skin's too dry, it produces more oil and things just do not sit nicely. But this combo is fab. And actually, I don't put Super Skin Nova on my forehead as much. Bring it down, get a little bit of draining going on in my neck. Super Skin Nova, I'm going to go in with a little brush, the end of a brush, pull out some product, and this is like your thicker, more ceramide, peptide, really cushioning on the skin. If I had to pick one to recommend to you, if you've got drier skin, Super Skin Nova, and if you like something a bit more lightweight, then Skin Nova, but honestly you can use them both no matter your skin texture, type or tone, and I'm going to focus that mostly on my cheeks. I'm just going to probably touch my forehead. Have a look at this. It's worth seeing as well my skincare this morning. Washed my face and I just put my BioEffect EGF serum. I talk about it all the time. I'm not sponsored by them. I just love it. It's so much. The most incredible serum. There's so many people talking about it just now as well because of how good it is, and I'm really excited that I have put it in my kit as well. Unbelievable product. I think a big difference in my makeup now and 8 years ago is the amount of base product that I wear. Not the amount of base product, the amount of product that I use on my face. So I'm going to use my Modern Radiance Concealer in the shade M1 and I'm going to pop that in the areas that I know I'm going to want that kind of more demi-matte coverage. I think what I love about this concealer the most is the fact that it's still hydrating, but it's not shiny and it's not slippy, and it's a crazy amount of coverage. I'm not Kevin Aquan skin enhancer coverage, but it's more coverage than most concealers. It doesn't mean that you're going to get full coverage all the time, it just means you can use a lot less. I'm going to use my foundation brush and just pat that out. So I'm doing my concealer first, and then I'm going to go in the areas that I don't have concealer with foundation. That stops me layering up too much product. When you start layering up a lot of product, that is when things start to slip around. I'm using the 117 brush and I'm doing a mixture of patting the product out and then sweeping the product. I'm going to use Conceal and Prime brush, which honestly when you use it, it just feels like you're using a really precise finger. Blend that under my eyes, round my inner corner. This concealer under the wing. If you want, you can use it like a rubber and kind of clean up that smoky eye. I always like to clean it up, make sure it's dragging right up instead of dragging my face down. So you get that nice lift. Oh, I've got to this stage, I don't know if I'm going to put glitter on my face, I'm not going to lie. I cannot believe I'm seeing Kendrick and SZA tonight. Do you know, it's one of my favourite songs is All the Stars. I can really remember listening to it on a flight to go to Japan, and I remember just thinking, oh yeah, this is the best day of my life. Skinnable complexion balm. I'm using all stuff that I've made because it's the best. But you can use whatever you love. We'll start there. I'm just gonna get that on. I'm going to bring it down my neck slightly and pat it out. This is such a good technique to do your foundation every day as well. The concealer first, if you feel like you need that coverage somewhere, and then just using foundation around it. You get such a nice finish that lasts so well. I love that I can still see my little freckles through it. Modern Radiance cream bronzer in the shade medium, and I'm going to use this quite high. I don't know how blushy I'm going to go. I feel like when I've got really dark eyes, I tend to go a little bit lighter with the blush, but bronzer you can go ham with. And I might actually just do all my base and my lips and then blusher at the end, just because I do think this whole look is probably the least important. And I'm using that bronzer to add a little bit of definition to my face as well, but I'm using it so high up. I think another difference in my makeup now versus 8 years ago is everything's a lot more blended. I used to love a harsh bronzing contour. I think I was just obsessed with making my face look a bit smaller. I'm going to go straight in with powder bronzer. So this is Modern Bronzer and the powder duo. And I'm going to buff that into my cheeks on top of my cream bronzer. This is going to set it down, and it's also going to intensify any pigment. And using each bronzer shade, no matter what shade you get, you've always got a kind of darker, more cooler tone that's going to be fab for adding a bit more depth. So I'm going to use that shade at the back, and I like to bring that quite high under my eye. I'm going to set with Invisible, quite a healthy amount. And when my skin's still a bit damp, I'm going to use my Nova Glow Liquid Light in the shade Holy Chic. If you're going out and you're not using this product, you're making a mistake. So I'm going to just put that product on the high points of my cheekbones, and then I'm going to pat it out when my skin's still damp. Really careful not to swipe, because you will swipe away product underneath. Now when that set spray dries and the highlight dries down, impeccable. Stunning. Show-stopping. Incredible. Right, I need powder. Modern Powder Perfector in the shade medium. Nearly ran out. Press that powder in my shiny areas. So see, like, for example, I'm trying to get it to shine there. No. Here. No. Goodbye. Do you see? It makes its skin look like silk. It does actually just make everything look airbrushed. Don't be scared of powder. Just use a good one and melt it into the skin. So that's why I always set first, set and spray first, and then powder, and then we're going to set again. I forgot to mention my eyebrows. I have run out of every eyebrow product. I don't have anything. So I use an eyeshadow that I don't like it. So I'm gonna fix that later. Now we've powdered, I'm gonna set again. I've officially ran out of all my dark lip liners. So I'm going to do a lip combo I've done lately. Actually been asked what it is quite a lot. So I'm going to use Brat first. I'm going to keep the foundation on my lips so I get a nice harsher lip line. I'm going to stick natural on the sides, and then I'm going to kind of slightly overdraw at the middle. Right, I love that. So it's slightly more pinky. It's still that kind of browny pink tone, but it looks good. And then I'm gonna go really pale. So like 8 years ago, I still love a pale nude lip. Looking back at that, it was so pale, so matte, and so peach, like pale peach. The lip I'm gonna do today is more comforting and I suppose less matte as well. I'm going to use Modern Matte Lipstick in the shade Vive. It is really special to me. It's really close to my MAC lipstick that I made, I don't know how many years ago that was, 7 or 8. I'm going to chuck that on just in the centre so you can see when I say pale, it's pale. Get my finger, blend that in, and I'm going to use Lip Dew in the shade Rosa. It's got a warmer pink tone to it, so it's going to bring the nude back to life a little bit while still maintaining the kind of paler look. And again, I'm just going to pat that out. I love it. I think I need to find Bark or even Taylor to do it. No, I'm going to leave it, because otherwise I'm going to end up just looking the same as I always do. This is kind of my favourite part of doing makeup, is the finessing. So I want to take that bronzer again, this one, and I'm going to go in with a little random brush. I told you I really don't have that much here, but I'm just going to use the cooler side of Modern Bronzer and just slightly sculpt my nose and connect that to my eye makeup. Ah, stunning. And then under my nose, and then on top I'm going to use dark brown, fill in my freckle. Yep, love done it a bit darker today. And then I really want this look to pop off. So I'm going to use lashes. I've not used lashes in ages and ages. These are Libre by my friend Karen. I love Sarai on Instagram. She is the best. And she came out with her own lashes, and they are really stunning. Faux ink, cruelty free. Right, I don't have any tweezers or eyelash applicator, so I'm going to have to use my fingers, and it's been so long since I've done this. Oh my god, they're so good. This style is called number 10. Yeah, love. They're so glam. It's Tuesday today and I'm doing this before my meetings. I guarantee I'm going to get all my meetings and I'm just going to be like that. Who the heck are you? And then when that glue starts to dry down and get really tacky, you can get in there with your fingers and just give them a good squeeze. I'm going to load up those lower lashes. And I was right, I'm not going to add any glitter. I like it as it is, and I like the eyes super matte. I think that just looks really sexy and grown up, which I am, unfortunately, a grown up. I do think that there's a grown up way to wear glitter. I just don't know if the product itself exists yet. I just want to say I'm not naked, just in case. I don't have any blusher on, and I don't know whether I'm gonna. No, I am. I'm gonna take a little bit of Rosa, which I think will be nice with the lips. Tiny touch. And I'm gonna actually apply it super high up towards the back of the face. Yeah, I don't regret that. So I'm gonna go and do my hair and I'll be right back to show you the finished look. So this isn't the final look, but I have one bauble here. I have searched all the boxes and I have one bauble. So this part shall be fixed later. I don't know whether I'm going to plait it or if I'm going to put it in a bun. I was going to twiddle it round and have little spiky bits. I don't know if I can even give you the vibes. I really don't know. But I have multitasked here. I love doing this when I'm doing slick hair. I've put in an Olaplex mask right through it. I used my Living Proof Scalp Care Density Serum. I love me some scalp care. And then got to be glued. So because I've got the mask and it's kind of like that gummy way, but then the got to be good just helps with my flyaways. I swear my regrowth from having Romy is more bonkers now than it's ever been. Like if I don't do this kind of hairstyle, it just looks quite nuts. But that's kind of look. Hope you like it. I think it's the perfect amount of glam for me, but skin still looks kind of semi-natural. Depending on what I wear tonight, I might shine up my shoulders and then I might change my earrings. Who knows? But today, I really wanted to share a proper makeup look with you, like a glam one. And finally, yeah, filming the new office. It's been so nice. My view, actually, I'll show you right now. This is my view. So this is like a little room. And then out there is like the main studio and where we're going to work and everything. It's just like a home from home. And it's so good to have that separation between work and home. I haven't had that since I worked on counter, which is insane because that was a long time ago. So let me know what you think. I'll list all the products I used down below. I know I used all Vive and pretty much all my makeup. That like my kit, my own personal kit is right here. And it's obviously all my stuff. So you can use whatever you have at home, similar products, but obviously I do recommend Vive. I need to get better at talking about this. I'm like shy. I'm like, guys, I hope you don't mind if I talk about, the thing that I poured my heart and soul into for 7 years. Hopefully there's some techniques and things like that that you picked up and let me know whatever you'd like to see from me. I have this set up now. Absolutely film a video a week like the good old days. You're the boss. It's good to be back. I missed you and I love you and I'll see you soon. Bye. I'm sorry if you can hear drilling. I'm not in control anymore. It's not my house. Testing, testing. Exciting. Where the fuck is it? Oh. I think we'll just get started. Blech. I'm shy. I'm gonna sandwich. That's not the right thing at all. Who is this clanging bitch?